Oh, who is that? Oh, Parker. Right, I think we can start now. Is Gabriel here? Yes, he is. 1D29 iPad. Therefore, I think should be number 3, Jasmine is sick. And then Jane and Season are not here yet, I think. Okay, you can double check for me, Marvin. Right. Okay. Do you have any one of you have any questions about chapter 10, session 1 and session 2? Any more questions before we move on? Yes. No. Thank you. Right. Then we move on to the next session. We'll go to session 3 today. Right. Now, session 3, as you can see the title, okay, it is about condition for parallel lines, okay, and then it means if you are given two lines, okay, how can we tell whether these two lines are parallel? Okay, therefore we will look at something called condition. Okay, what are required? Okay, what are required, or what we have to know, okay, to tell whether the lines are parallel. Okay, those are the conditions. Now, here you can see that, okay, and there are two lines, and then you look at it. Do you know how to determine? Determine means make a decision, or you can tell whether it is yes or no, then it is called determine. Okay, whether these two lines are parallel to each other. Now here in mathematics, we need evidence. Okay, you cannot just say that they look like they are parallel. Okay, we cannot say that. We can just say that they are parallel because they look like parallel. Okay, you have to give some evidence. Okay, right. It means we are asking these questions. Okay, is AB parallel to CD? Now, and then if you still remember, okay, when we start this, if we start this chapter, okay, we have done some activities. Okay, we have used GeoGebra. Okay, that app is called GeoGebra to draw some lines. If you still remember, we have drawn some lines, and then we have measured some angles. Okay, and then when we make the angles equal, okay, then the lines, okay, become parallel. And therefore, this case, in fact, if the corresponding angles formed by the two lines and the transversal are equal, okay, then the two lines are parallel, okay. Now, therefore, this time I will show you example, then you can tell the difference. This time, it's the other way around. You will be given two lines, A, B, and C, D. And then we don't know. Now, pay attention. We don't know whether they are parallel or not. Then we will check if we have these types of angles. Then we will check the size of these angles. It means we try to see whether there's information given, or of course, if you are drawing on the paper by your own, okay, you can use a protractor to measure the angles and then check to see whether these two angles are equal. If okay, if they are equal, then we can tell people that, okay, A, B, and C, D, they are parallel. And then you can see that the reasons written will be different. Okay, let's take a look. This is the other case, alternate angles. We go for it later. Maybe we look at some example first. Now, in each of the following, determine whether DE and I want the next one. Let's go to, now it means like this kind of example, you can see that, say B is BF parallel to DG, okay, is BF parallel to DG, okay. Therefore, in this case, like this one, I am checking this line. I'm checking this line. And then there's a case, okay. Now you can see that there's the angle here. For example, if I produce this line, then I have another angles here. Okay, if it is also 54 degrees, because this one is 54 degrees. Okay, if I can find that this one also 54 degrees, then I can know that these lines are parallel. Okay, let me show you some more. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. I am trying to, can I go back like that? Right. Maybe we go through this one also. Now, just now, I just told you we can check the corresponding angle, and then similarly, we can also check the alternate angles, because if they are parallel lines, these two angles should be equal. Then now we do the other way around. Okay, we will check whether these two angles are equal. If they are equal, then these two lines are parallel. Okay, and then for the next one, for the interior angles case, okay, we will check whether, I will check the sum of these two angles. Okay, I will try to add A and B together, and then check to see whether the sum is 180 degrees. Okay, if the sum is 180 degrees, okay, yes, then AB parallels to CD. But the reason will be different. Okay, right. Now, maybe I summarize a little bit. Okay, let me, now, it means I can summarize into case. Now, if I have parallel lines, okay, before in session two, we have this one first. It means we have this one at the beginning, and then, okay, we tell people we have corresponding angles, okay, they are equal. And then we have alternate angles, okay, they are equal. And then we have interior angles, okay, the sum of the interior angles is 180 degrees. Okay, it means in the previous sessions, this part, we can say that it is the reason. And then we have the result. Okay, this is session 2. Session 2, the one that you have just learned. Okay? Okay? Right. But now, we are doing the other way around. We are doing the other way around. Okay? We have this part first. This time, we have this part first at the beginning. If we know this, okay, then we tell people that, okay, I've got some parallel lines, right? And therefore, in this case, this part becomes the reason. It becomes the reason. And then this part becomes the result. Okay, this is session 3. This is session 3. Okay, understand? Understand? We want to check the lines. We want to check the lines this time. We want to check the lines and then to tell people whether they are parallel. Okay, and then in this case, we need to check the angles. Right. I need to clear this part first. Okay. Let me do something. I forgot to start something. Okay, where is my control? Here. Okay, right. Pause recording. Okay. Yes. Nothing happened. Okay, we can continue. Okay. And therefore, this is for alternate angles. Okay, if you can see two angles like that, they are alternate angles. And then we try to find the size of these two angles. If they are equal, then we say that these two lines are parallel. If not, then they are not parallel. But for the case, if you are given the information of these two angles, they are the interior angles of the parallel lines. Okay. Now, then this case, do you still remember this word? This word. I told you yesterday. Okay. It means if the total is 180 degrees, then it is called supplementary. Supplementary. Are they supplementary? The they means the interior angles. Okay, interior angle. Are the interior angles supplementary? It means if I add the interior angles together, okay, it's the total 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees is in the word, we say that supplementary. Okay, therefore, if I add the two interior angles together, if I get the total to be 180 degrees, then we say that the two lines are parallel, otherwise not. Okay, right, then we can move on to look at some examples. Yeah, we use SUPP, the short form. Now, then in this case, now look at the question. You have to identify there's a difference between the type of questions asked in session 2 and session 3. Now, in this case, you can see that in each of the following, determine, it means you make the decision. You try to tell, okay, whether the and FG are parallel. Now, then in part A, it means I am looking at DE and FG. And then you try to look for the angles. You try to look for the angles. Okay. Now, then in this case, you have angles here. This one. Now, for this one, you can either to see whether you want to look for the corresponding angles or alternate angle. Now, in this case, if I look at this one, I can look at this one. Then in this case, they are corresponding angles. And then I want to check whether they are equal. Okay. And then if I want to check whether they are equal, it means I need to know the size of these two angles, right? Therefore, you ask yourself, can I find these angles? This one is very clear. Okay, you can add these two angles together. And then you ask yourself, can I find these angles also? And then in this case, you can, okay, but in this case, you have to make use of the 95 degrees. Okay, right? And therefore, it means I need to find these two angles. Now, what we need to do, this one is easier. You can find this one first. And then angle, okay, the name for this angle, ACG. Okay, and then it is 35 degrees and then plus 50 degrees. Okay, therefore it is 85 degrees. Now in this case, okay, yeah, no special reason for that, because it is stated in the diagram that this angle, okay, consists of two parts together. Okay, no special reason. But for this one, we need to tell, okay, how to find ABE. I know that angle ABE plus, because here DE, okay, it means DE is a straight line, okay, and plus 95 degrees, okay, should be 180. Now then in this case, you need to tell people, why do you know that when I add these two angles together, it is 180? Because they are on the straight lines. Therefore, in this case, we need to tell the reasons. Adjacent angles on straight line. Okay? And then you can find angle ABE. Okay? Should be 85 degrees, right? Now, therefore, in this case, okay, in this case, you can see that, okay, both are 85. Okay, you can see that in this case, both, this one is 85. And then here, this one is also 85. And they are corresponding angles. Therefore, you tell the results. Therefore, it means what you know now. Okay, what you have got now. Okay, I know that. Okay, DE parallels to FG. And then tell people why you know that. Okay, what kinds of information tells you about that? Because I have found the corresponding angles equal. Okay. Okay. Because I find that, okay, I have found the corresponding angles, and then I find that they are equal. Therefore, be very careful. Okay, the sentence you need to write here at this time is different. Okay, it's different from the previous session. Okay, right. Now, then how about part B? Now this time I need to check also, okay, FG is this line, okay, DE, okay, this line, right? And then this is the transversal. This line is the transversal, right? We need this angle, right? If I have found this angle, then I have, yes, I have interior angles, yes. And then what's that? Right, but we need to, usually we start with the standard result first. Standard results, it means the results that people mostly accept. Okay, therefore, our result is that if there are angles, okay, coming from a point, okay, the sum of all these angles is 360 degrees. Therefore, we usually start with writing in this way. You need to tell people that, okay, angle, yeah, right, FDE, yes, do it in this way, yeah, 298 degrees, and then equal 360 degrees. And then the reasons, because they are angles at points. Now, actually, you can just give me the value immediately. You can just do the subtraction by yourself. 62 degrees. Okay. Are you sure? Okay. Now, then after finding this one, then you want, it means we have got two interior angles, right? Yes. Then in this case, now for interior angle, we are not going to check whether they are equal. We need to add them together, right? Therefore, in this case, if you want to write very clearly, especially later when the diagrams are more complicated, we can first tell people we are going to add these two angles. Okay, we are looking at the sum of these two angles. Okay, don't write equal 180 degrees. You need to use the size, the values of the angles, and then do this addition. Because sometimes may not be 180 degree. But this case, is it 62, right? Then in this case, it is not 180, right? If it is 62, okay, then what is that? 174, am I correct? Right? And therefore, in this case, it is not 180 degrees. Okay, then you can tell. Therefore, the you can just copy the word from the questions given. Okay, no worry, are not parallel. Now, in this case, this is the reason already. Okay, no need to write anything this time. Okay, no sentence will be, I mean, after this one, no such thing you need to write. Okay, just write that not equal 180 degrees. Okay, and then, but you need to tell your final answer. Then in this case, you can tell people that these two lines, DE and FG, are not parallel. Okay, any questions up to this moment? Right. No, then we move on to the next slide. Okay, now this one. Now you have to look at, you have to read the question carefully and then look for the information. Okay, carefully. In the figure, yeah, B, C, F, and C, D, E, and then make sure that they are straight lines. Okay, they are straight lines. And then it is given that, it means you can look at the diagram. Okay, it is given that we just know that AB parallels to C. Find P, part A, you need to find P. Just now, one of you have already, okay, got it. Okay, you can find them. They are alternate angles. Is it true that BF parallels to DG? Give reasons. Okay, then we need to check whether BF and FG are parallel. Okay, right. First of all, find P. Not difficult, I think. But just, I think for the calculation, you don't have many problems in the calculation. But usually students may have problems on deciding which reason have to written at the end after the calculation. Now in this case, we have to tell people 2p equals 54 degrees. Now this time you can see that we don't know p, but we know that they are equal because they are alternate angles of parallel lines. Okay, do you know what I mean? Because I know these two lines are parallel, and therefore I know these two angles are equal. Okay, I have parallel line first. The result at the end, I know these two angles are equal. Okay, this is section 2. This is section 2. Okay, and therefore in this case, I know P is 27. Okay, this is part A, finish. And then then you have to think, after I have found P, how can I tell whether BF parallels to DG? Then you look at these two lines, BF and DG. What angles I also need? Right, I also need this one. And then it means I need to check these two, right? I need to check these two. Therefore, I need to find these two. Okay, then you do it one by one. You do it one by one. First, I look at angle FCD. Okay, plus P is 27. You can write clearly 2 times 27 degrees. It means 2P. Okay, equals 180 degrees. Why? Because they are on the straight line. Adjacent angles on straight line, right? And therefore, I know that angle FCD equals 180 minus 54, which is 126 degrees. Right. Is this very noisy? Boys and girls, let me close the window. Much better now, right? Now then, we need to find this one also. And then you tell people, okay, I am going to find angle GDE, which is 4P plus 18, 4 times P, okay, plus 18 degrees, okay? And then 4 times P, so you can do it slowly or you can just do it quickly if you can. Otherwise, if you do it what a step by step will be 108 plus 18, okay, 126, yes. And therefore, angle FCD, we write clearly, angle FCD equals angle GDE because both of them are 126 degrees. And therefore, what we know, oh, it turns to the mom. Therefore, you can just write, therefore, you can just answer maybe the question, it is true. Because you are answering, okay, don't write is it. It is not a question. Now you can answer, therefore it is true. You can just follow the sentence structure. But you are answering, okay, it's a sentence. It's a statement, okay. It is not a question, okay. It is true that, just follow this part. Parallels DG. And then corresponding angles equal, right? Okay. Yes, very noisy. Is this better now, Joshua? Can you, boys and girls, can you hear me clearly now? I have closed the windows. Okay, thank you. Right. Because there's a construction site nearby. Okay, that's why sometimes can be very noisy. Right. No problem for this one, example 15. Right, then we can just look at more examples. We have done this part already. Now, then in this case, now this example just show you we may need some other help, okay, before we can solve the problem. Now we refer to the figure. Is AB parallel to CD? Give reason. Now the problem is that you can see that it is we need to add one more line. Now the problem is that will be this part, because this part actually consists of two straight lines. Okay, it is not a straight line like that. Okay, therefore these two angles are not connected at this moment. Okay, are not really connected at this moment. Okay, therefore we need to cut it into two parts. Now when we add the lines, okay, this line, okay, we ourselves add the line. Therefore we add one more condition. It means I want to draw a line here. Okay, I can choose. Okay, I have the choice. I can choose what kind of line I want to add. Okay, therefore I choose to add the line which is parallel to AB. Okay, or if you don't want to do it, you can do it the other way around. You can do it the other way around. The other way around is that you can choose to add a line such that instead of parallel to AB, it can be parallel to CD. Okay, just either one, okay? Now, because we are doing in this way. Now, if I follow this one, okay, I follow this one, okay, I follow this one. If AB parallel to EF, and if I can find that EF also parallel to CD, then the results I can tell AD parallels to CD, right? Do you agree? If I know these two line parallels, okay? If I have another line here and I know that if I compare these two lines, they are parallel, right? Then in this case, these two lines should be parallel, right? Agree? Agree? Yeah, this is what we want to know, want to do. Okay, this is what we want to do. Okay, now therefore in this case, I clear all the drawing first. Now this case, we add the line. Okay, I know now this is what I add. And then I add the condition that EF will be parallel to AB. Therefore, in this case, it means I want to check this part. I want to check this part is EF parallels to CD. Okay. Okay, I want to check is EF parallel to CD. If EF also parallels to CD, okay, then CD parallels to AB. Okay, this is what I can get at the end. Okay. Now, therefore, this one, I just want to explain it quickly, okay, instead of writing the full steps. Now, after adding these lines, okay, you can see that we also cut the angles into two parts, right? We also cut this angle into two parts. And then it states that this one will be X. Okay, now therefore, I just need add one more angle. This is X. Okay, and then if this is 160, X should be 20. Right? It turns into the mouse. Okay, reason interior angles, okay, AB parallels to EF, okay? Now, then what we have known now, if it is 20, then it means this part is 30. No special reason, because the total is 50. Okay? Okay? Right? And then in this case, after knowing that this is 30, and then I add these two together. Then it means you really do this calculation, 30 plus 150. Okay, and then when you add these two together, which is 180, right? Then you have to first tell people EF, you are checking EF and CD, don't jump to A, B, and CD quickly, okay? Therefore, EF parallels to CD. And then, because I add these two angles together, they are interior angles. Now, this one, you need to write more words. Interior angles, supplementary, just SUPP, no need to spell the whole word. Okay, supplementary. And then you need to draw another conclusion. Now, you have these two together, AB parallels EF and EF parallels to CD, and therefore AB parallels to CD. Okay, write them clearly like that. Okay, you cannot skip the steps and then jump quickly. Okay, I know that AB parallels to CD. Cannot. Okay, you have to write it clearly, one by one. Okay, right. Any problems at this moment? Up to this one. Now, if you don't have any problems at this moment, right? Okay. And then, right. Now I have, okay, it's closed. Okay, this. Right. Now, you should be able to find lesson worksheet in Google Classroom. Okay, the last one. Okay, for this chapter. Okay, you have find 10A, 10B, and 10C. Okay, and this set is the last one. Okay, you can try to do this one. You should start to do this one now. Okay, we have finished session 3 already. Okay, and then tomorrow I will just continue to choose some exercise in your textbook, and then we do together. Okay, but today I just want to tell you that you should start to do also worksheet 10C. Okay, and then today was today, Tuesday, right? Now, the case is that what I want to discuss with you. Now, you have your Easter holiday. Okay, and then your Easter holiday should start on Thursday. Okay, therefore tomorrow will be the lessons before Easter holiday. Okay, right. When your Easter holiday end, let me check. Your Easter holiday start from 9th of April to what? 19.